Hey Internet, it's me. And tonight is night, whatever the hell number one.
More than one.
So, Final Destination 3. The one with the roller coaster.
I can't do that. That's racist now.
Yes. So right off the bat, this did do what you were saying with the last one. You didn't like that she had multiple premonitions and like they spoon fed it to you. And this one did not do that. This went back to the original where she had the initial premonition and then everything after that was her figuring out on her own there's an order and oh look at these pictures, these are relevant. So it was a lot more of that. So what did you think?
Oh boy! How to unpack this. First of all, I don't want to nitpick the roller coaster scene to death. Because I could.
I was going to say, I know if I know anything about you, it's that you could pick 100 flaws in that scene. So ignore that scene.
The deaths weren't as cool in this one.
Really?
No. They didn't have that cool, fun way to die in it. No.
See, I don't know. I thought a lot of these were more
The one that I did like was them when the roller coaster got hung upside down and they were hanging from the car.
Oh yeah, and then they dropped.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. Other than that,
the nail gun did it for me. That was
It looked cool at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. But that's about all I can remember.
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of gruesome stuff in this one.
Oh, like the fan in the back of the head.
Yeah, his head getting like shredded.
Yeah.
And then at the end with Kevin getting sucked under the train and basically just liquidated. Like it was quick, but you saw just like a red mist. Like I don't know if they were as fun as the last ones, but they were very gruesome in this one.
Like when what's his name from the last movie got squished by the glass pane. Like he was liquidated real quick. But like you could there was a whole fucking mannequin that was just
there were several frames where you watched him squish.
Like him, it was just like a CG.
You know, we didn't mention it in that last one, but I loved that scene because not only did they show it squishing him, but they left the camera rolling to the point where not only did you see it squish him, you actually saw the pane of glass explode and the frame hit the ground and what was left of the mannequin afterward.
Oh, yeah.
So it just followed through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that was like the nail scene for me, though. Because she got all the nails in the head, but then you saw them all sticking out of the other side of her face, and you saw her twitch a little bit and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that had the same follow-through. Like, that
Everybody
was very
twitched
visceral.
a little bit in this. What's his name when he got... Ian, when he got crushed by the crane.
Oh,
he had a little twitch in his fingers.
Twitch.
Yeah.
I thought the deaths were still fun.
It's fine. It's still a fun movie franchise. It's still a fun movie. I don't think it quite had the same oomph as the last two.
I can get on board with that, but I can't quantify why. Because like I said, I still really enjoyed the deaths. I thought they were very gruesome and very just visceral. Like, a lot of them just hit, and I'm like, okay, I really dig this. And, like, they still set up the Rube Goldberg for a lot of things. Like, you know, when they were in the warehouse at the hardware store there, like, there was that whole thing with the forklift and all the stuff, and it was a whole chain reaction. And, like, the story did what you said, where you wanted it to be less dumbed down, and they had to, like, work for it more and earn it more. Like, that was cool. So... by all accounts, it should be just as good, if not better, but I don't know. Maybe it's because we watched so many in a row, or what it is. Maybe it's just kind of diminishing returns, but yeah, I'd say the last two I said were an 8. This one I'd probably say was like a 7.
Yeah, I'm going with a 6 for this one.
Like, still above
8, 7,
average.
6. Still a fun time.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was still good to watch. I enjoyed all the deaths.
I just don't think the story was as strong. Like, it was just a repeat of the last two.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's a group, and they have to figure out why, and try not to die.
Well, that's the thing. It's the same formula every time. So, I mean, they can only do so much.
Right.
Like, all they can do is really change the deaths. Otherwise, they're still... The root plan is always going to be someone cheated death, and now death is trying to right that. I do like, though, that they didn't... Like, the other movie, the second one there, With the whole, like, hey, if there's a new life, we can cheat death. And, like, we can undo it. Or
I'm trying to hold it on, too.
And that kind of reminded me of in Pumpkinhead, when they were talking about, if they, like, what if we fix burying these people? And, like, we undo everything, and then that'll make it right, and we won't die. And that was kind of a red herring. And I liked that in Final Destination 2, they did the same kind of thing, where in the end, the baby didn't help, and they all still died. But, like, I like that this one didn't try to do that. It didn't try to fake you out or do the red herring. It's like, nope, this is a story, and death's going to get everyone, and that's just how it goes. And then in the end, even though it passed them by once, it came back around and got them again anyway, because it's still Death's plan, and they're just gonna die eventually. Which is the same thing the first one did. Like, it took us another movie before Ailey Larter's character went, but they all died. So, I like that they went back to those roots, but to your point, it is the same story over again, just with different deaths and more roller coasters. But yeah, I'm still on board. I'm still having fun. Like, I'm enjoying watching them. I'm enjoying all the different ways they can set up these elaborate deaths, because they are still elaborate. There's still this chain reaction. Yeah. Like, they had the horse there and all that stuff, and that was kind of cool. Like, I'm on board. So, I'm still excited for the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to see where it goes. Which is surprising, really. I mean, for a franchise to have 3 in a row that are good. Like, they haven't had a misstep yet.
All right, here's the thing. If we've gotten 3 out of the 5, we used to do this in years past, where we also reviewed, is it scary? Would you consider Final Destination to be a horror franchise? Is it a scary movie?
I have this conversation with people a lot as far as what is horror. I've had this argument on the subreddit a million times. For me, I consider a lot of things horror. Like, if it's a thriller or a suspense, like anything horror adjacent, even if it just has horror themes, like if there's vampires in it, I count it. But as far as is it scary, I don't think so. I don't know that it's trying to be, though. Like, I don't know that this is trying to scare the audience as more as it's trying to, like, shock them.
Well, the last movie, I mean, you and I both admitted that ever since that log scene, we can't drive behind a log truck without thinking about it, or...
That didn't scare me in the movie. It just set up a new fear in my real life. But, yeah, I don't think the movies... Because there's not even, like, a lot of jump scares, really. Like, they're not trying to, like, startle you or scare you or unnerve you while you're watching. It's more of just a shock of, like, look how elaborate these things are and look how gruesome these deaths are. So it's more of just those themes and then the shock value, I feel like.
I don't care. I just wanted to insert that because we haven't talked about that in all this marathon yet.
To stay in that, though, have any of the ones we've seen so far? Because we're, I don't know, 11 in, 12 in, something like that. Have any of them been scary? Because we had the Hay Rides, Fear Farm, Pumpkinheads.
Not unless you count the one we did before the marathon.
Oh, yeah.
No One Will Save You?
Yeah, No One Will Save You. I don't know if that was scary, but that was intense. That was... The atmosphere and the suspense and the way they built up that movie, that was... I don't know why we're reviewing that movie again, but really, that still, to me, was just so good.
So good.
If we could get more movies, No Escape, As Above, So Below, and now that are the only 3 movies I can think of that have that same atmosphere and that same tension.
Right.
That was 10 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. But, so yeah, Final Destination 3 is not better than No One Will Save You. But it is good.
Still a good time, still a good franchise.
Yeah, very fun.
Now I'm confused because I just figured out that there's 5 movies, you said.
Yes.
I know I've seen one of the other 2 movies that we have left. I don't think I've seen the other one, and I don't know which one I've seen now.
Well, this did the thing, too, that...
Because the next one is called The Final Destination.
Yes, I was going to say.
But then there's Final Destination 5.
Yes.
I know I've seen one of...
stupid name thing.
I know I've seen one of them. There's a part that I remember from one of them. I don't know which one it's going to be.
Well, don't tell me. Let me be surprised, because I have not seen either of them. I hadn't even seen this one that we just watched. So, it's all new to me here and out, so I'm just going to go with that.
Okay.
But yeah, so there we go. Stick around. Stay tuned. All the things. Okay,
Stay
bye.
tuned to a whole different night when we're wearing the same shirts, even though it's a totally different day, because we're not liars or cheaters at all.
Exactly. Definitely being filmed day of and posted and edited same day. Every time.
Absolutely.